Welcome to the Ranorex training and demo session. So I will be taking out this demo session and the next training sessions on this Ranorex training. So let's get started on this today's session. I have totally 8 years of experience as a QA analyst. So I work for different companies across all of my experience with the different domains. And majorly I was working on the automation. I have the different exposure on the automation tools like Ranorex, Selenium, UFT, and API testing and performance as well. Along with it, Ranorex is a major tool I worked on. I have 4+ years of experience on automating the desktop apps, web applications, mobile apps. So with the different domains, like I work for e-commerce, I work for data analytics, I work for engineering domains, which is I worked on different frameworks, developing the different frameworks of this related to this kind of domains. And also, whenever I get time, I support the forum, Ranorex forum, and I try to answer the questions whatever I can. That's all about my complete experience. So today's agenda is, so I'll be discussing about what we are going to cover in the Ranorex complete training. What are the content, course content, what we have, and what you are going to get after this end of this session. What this training involves, how the procedure will goes, what are the topics involved, and that. As I told, I have 8+ years of experience. Most of the time, I'll be discussing about through this course. I'll be discussing related to real time because I don't know the outside market. Because I can explain, I have the real time experience. So I'll be discussing more about real time scenarios, real time experiences when the project starts till the end, how it will go. Like based on my experience, I'll be discussing about in the training sessions. And I wanted to, if the training has some expectations, I'll try to reach out to them on the expectations part. So today's this agenda I wanted to cover on this demo session. So this is introduction of this course. This course has 20 hours of duration, and other details will be discussed later. And this course includes on the high level, so end-to-end discussion on the Ranorex tool, how it works, how it will go, and what are the advantages, disadvantages, what are the drawbacks, where Ranorex stands in the market, where Ranorex helps you in the job market. So all these things will be discussed throughout this course, and how to automate a web application, how to automate a desktop application using Ranorex, how you maintain your framework, how to develop your framework from scratch, and how we start from the scratch to start any framework or any application. So we'll be discussing in this throughout the course. Example, if I take any web application, so we have to do R&D. We have to check with the Ranorex tool and how it will go. Generally, what are the R&D components we look into when we start any web application automation or desktop application from scratch. So how it will go. So once the stakeholder approves this tool, so how we start the Ranorex tool automating any of the web application or desktop application. What are the steps we follow? What we do in each step. These are all the things also we'll be covering in this course, and how as Ranorex has the biggest advantage of recording modules, suits and code modules. So I'll be discussing about, I'll be explaining, I'll be giving tasks on the how the recording modules, suits, code modules, how to use the recording modules. All those things will be discussed in this through the course, and also maintaining the repositories. So many of the framework we have to maintain your own repository. So that things we will be explaining you, and I'll be giving the live demo, practical examples like how the different scenarios we follow, different techniques we follow for maintaining the repository, building your own locators. So all these things will be discussed as part of this course. And majorly, as I keep on mentioning, the real-time experience. So real-time project discussion will be always it's ongoing activity. So whatever I talk, whatever I discuss, so I'll be following the real-time technologies and real-time techniques through my experience. So we'll be working on a real-time project. So all these things like what I mentioned in the previous, like step 1 to step 4, like all these things we'll be working on real-time project on a daily basis. And also that interview point of discussions. Of course, I have a lot of experience on how the interviews goes. I've taken a lot of interviews on Ranorex, so I'll try to transfer my interview knowledge, interview questions, and interview discussions. How the expectations will be when we are interviewing, or when we are taking interview for an analytics, and what we have to prepare as an interview candidate, what you have to prepare. I'll try to guide you on this, the interview levels as well, what are the interview questions, and what are the interview level for discussions at framework level or analytics level, all these things. I'll be guiding you on this, on these areas. So these are high level things which going to include in this course. And Coming to the curriculum, so which continues to my previous slide. So these are the high-level topics which we are going to cover in this complete course. These, as I mentioned, these are the high-level topics. Each topic has this subtopics, which is a lot. So this is a high-level topics. So and when it comes to this topic, we will be explaining about each topic, each subtopics involved in this. Example, when it comes to introduction to the Ranorex, that will be the initial days, will be these initial sessions. So this topic includes like what is Ranorex, how it works, how the installation goes, what are the types of installations, what are the types of licensing, or how the licensing will work, how in real time how the licensing will be managed. These are like the real time experiences and all these things. What are the latest versions? What are the previous versions? What are the coming latest versions coming in, and what are the new add-ons coming in the latest versions? Also, what things, how the Ranorex forum works, how we need to approach the Ranorex forum whenever we have blogged somewhere. So these are all things we'll be covering in this topics, introduction to Ranorex topic. Coming to reporting. So any of the automation framework, when you say I'm an automation engineer, I have executed something, you should be in a position to show your proof. So the proof means the Ranorex reporting. I mean, the reporting part. So the reporting part shows you like how your framework is executing, what you have done, what is the status of your test execution. So Ranorex has its own inbuilt reporting library. So that is a major advantage, one of the major advantage. So it's clean and clear to the any of the user who are outside of the project or who are the stakeholders. So they can clearly understand like, okay, what things has been executed, what are the things included in this reporting library. So that shows your knowledge on the Ranorex tool, how you maintain your reporting library. So that is the outcome of your execution. So we'll be discussing that custom reporting and log, how you need to log your each step on the reporting. So those things will be discussed in this custom reporting topic. And as I mentioned, web testing and desktop app testing, these are the one major things. Web testing is booming in the market. We'll be discussing like what Ranorex will differentiate from the what are the open source tools in the market and what we have in the Ranorex, and how to perform web testing, how to start executing, how to preparing a framework on the web application. So we'll be discussing the web testing with Ranorex. And coming to desktop apps, Ranorex is, I feel like Ranorex meant to be for more compared to all the tools in the market. Ranorex has the biggest advantage, can be automated desktop apps, which the tools can't be doing. So Ranorex is, I can say, is one of the best in the market automating desktop apps. So we'll be discussing on Ranorex desktop app testing, like how to invoke an app, how to interact an app, how to install, how to work on the locating the desktop app applications. And when I go back, so web testing wise also we'll be covering like how to work with the multiple browsers, how to interact with the multiple browsers, different domains, and how to connect with the desktop app or web application. These both things will be covered. All the things will be covered in web testing with Ranorex desktop app testing. And coming to multiple Ranorex modules, we have recording module, we have code modules. So we'll be discussing like how the recording module will work, how the record and playback will work as a basic step of what we do as a record and playback, how to manipulate, how to change the recorded module into a regular test case. So those things will be discussed in these topics, and how to write your own code modules. All these things will be discussed in modules and the repositories. The sixth point is repository, so which is a key point for any of the framework. So how you, when you want to interact with any web application or desktop application, you need to maintain your repository. You need to add your elements to the repository. So we'll be discussing how to interact with the repository, how to maintain your own repository. Ranorex has its own repository style of maintaining. We need to learn like how to maintain the repository, how to access the repository elements, how the naming convention will be in the real-time coding standards, how the Ranorex will identify each element from the repository side. So these all things will be discussed in this repository topic. And coming to application validation, seventh point. So any of the testing framework, any of the test case. So when you wanted to say pass or fail, the validation is a major thing we need to look into. So any test case, expected and actual results will be there. Those are the validations for any of the test cases. Ranorex has its own style of validation points, validation methods. So we'll be seeing like how to use those validation methods, how to inject them, those validation methods into our regular code modules or recording modules, how to get the result from the validation methods, how to log them, how to report them. All these things we'll be discussing in this application validation topic. And coming to code modules, as I explained in the fifth point, like Ranorex modules, code modules is one of the biggest, one of the advantages with the code modules. We can maintain recording module, or we can maintain a code module. Code module will give you the robust kind of a framework or robust kind of technique. Will give you the chance to maintain your code modules. So when you have basic knowledge in C#, so we'll help you through the course. We'll help you to how to write your own code modules, how to add them, how to connect them with the recording modules, how to use both recording and code modules. On the coding level also we'll explain, so which helps on the real-time scenarios, like how the interview levels also and the real-time project levels also takes how the things will go on the code modules. We'll be guiding you or will be giving the real-time examples on the code modules. And coming to Ranorex Pi. So when I say repository, you need to add your element to repository. So generally in other technologies, we'll have different techniques. When it comes to Ranorex, we have its own spy of tracking elements. Ranorex has a tool in built with the tool, which is the spy, so which helps you to track any of the elements. So we'll be guiding you like how to use the spy, how it works, when you spy, when you track any of the element, how to use them, how to add them to repository, and how to manipulate the repository element, how to work with the dynamic elements, how to work with the static elements, or what are the different options we will be getting in the spy, how to use them, how to get the text, how to get the attribute values, how to get the values. So all these things will be discussed in the spy topic. How to apply the regular expressions, how to change the track repository element, how to change the XPaths, how to apply the techniques on the XPath and locator techniques. So we all will be discussing in this topic. And coming to data-driven testing, which is the 10th point. Data-driven, any of the frameworks should depend on any data. So Ranorex has its own inbuilt techniques, which is compared to the other tools, which is the biggest add-on, one of the add-on. So we don't need to bother about how to integrate our data. So it has the mechanism to accept the Excel, CSV, or SQL. So any of these data inputs, we can connect and we can use them. And how to connect them, on how to loop through the data what we have been given, and we can maintain test case wise data, we can maintain complete suite framework level data. All these things will be discussed in this data driven testing topic, and how to use them, how to apply in the real time techniques, or other techniques we have to apply data driven testing. All these things will be discussed. And also, as this all these topics going on, we'll be having practice tests, we'll be having the daily sessions. I mean, when the daily sessions are going on, we'll be giving the small tasks to apply the today's topic. Suppose example, if I explain you the Ranorex repositories item, so we'll be giving the small tasks to maintain your with small examples. We'll be asking you to apply the techniques what we have discussed today. So these kind of practices will be ongoing activities on daily basis. Also, I will be discussing about all the interview questions as I explained previously, like how the interviews goes. All these things will be part of this curriculum. So as I mentioned earlier, these all topics are like high level topics. So far I explained these topics includes, each topic includes everything. So you can say end to end will be covered throughout this topic. That's it about the curriculum. So when we say when it comes to market, it's go day by day. It's going huge demand for the Ranorex tool in the QA market. So Ranorex will help you to with the minimum of coding knowledge with C#, which allow you to enter into the QA automation engineer. Already, if you're working on a manual tester with the minimum coding knowledge, which you can enter into the as a automation engineer, and you can enhance your skills with the Ranorex tool. So by learning this code or Ranorex, you'll be able to start your automation journey compared to the other. So which has the huge market and which has huge pay scale in the market. And through European circle and US, we have a lot of clients who are interested in Ranorex, who are working Ranorex, because Ranorex has its license version, Ranorex has its forum available, Ranorex has its a forum which can help you to solve your problem. So companies wanted to depend on, though it's a license version, companies wanted to depend on this Ranorex because we have the support. Somewhere if you block, they can jump in and immediately they can ask Ranorex guys, hey, help me out this. So that is giving biggest advantage to the Ranorex. The client companies wanted to use this Ranorex. So they don't need to bother about if something they have logged, their resource something they have logged. They don't need to stop the project execution. They can go back and they can ask. So Ranorex, and also it has the plenty of usages, like as I explained, web testing, mobile, desktop. So all these things, market is growing huge for the Ranorex. Parallel to the resource as well, so which helps them to with basic knowledge, they can jump in and they can start their automation journey. That's how it's going with Ranorex compared to years by year. So its demand is going huge for Ranorex. Yes, the certification part. So Ranorex has its own certification. So throughout this course, if you see a curriculum, what are the topics we have discussed so far? So all these things will be help you to. These all the things, same things will be coming in the Ranorex certification. If you want to apply for, if you want to take the Ranorex certification program, so these all things will help you to achieve the complete the Ranorex certification professional, and you will be become the Ranorex certified professional, which is one of the add-on. And this course will help you to achieve this. These all things will be covered, and the certification point of view also discussing on the certification part. Along with the Ranorex certification, as I told initially, after completing of this course, you'll be getting this, and which is good amount of weightage in the market when you add it your curriculum, your resume after the certification. And these are the some random topics, as I explained them. These are the high-level topics like web application, spy, data-driven, data binding, reporting, latest versions, implemented remote executions. Remote execution is when you can work with Ranorex from remote agent also. So all these things are also covered as part of this course. These all the things, some random topics, which are key topics for any of the maintaining the framework, and it's also add-ons in the Ranorex tool. And also, as part of this course, by the end of this course, you'll be able to should be able in a position to create your own framework, interact with any of the web application or desktop application. Should be in a position to confident to start any of the project with or jump in any of the existing project, and you can start working on the existing project and tracking of the elements, maintaining your own repositories, apply repository techniques, locator techniques, and maintaining your framework, how to maintain reusable codes, how to maintain reporting. All these things will be in a position to, by the end of this course, you should be in a position to handle these topics, these areas. So as part of this course, we'll be working on two topics, two projects. So one is, as I told, web application. We'll be giving you the sample web application. What are the topics daily basis we are covering? Though I'll be asking you to apply those techniques on this sample web application and come back with your results. So we'll be reviewing what you have applied, how you have applied, and if you have blocked somewhere, we'll be discussing those things like where you have blocked, what are the mistakes you have done, what are the things you have done correctly. So I'll be going through the reviews. So on the task, what I have given on a daily basis, one web application will be covering all the things like end to end. As I keep on mentioning, framework designing, all these techniques, repositories, everything, and different browsers, all the things will be covered in our project one. And also, we have one more project interacting with the desktop app. So one of the major things market is looking for Ranorex with the desktop app application. So we'll be working on a sample desktop app, and same thing, creating our own framework, creating our repositories, maintaining our reporting structure, maintaining our framework, which is across. Example, the desktop app has different modules. So how to interact with the different modules within the same framework. So these things will be discussed along with these two. Like any of the framework, any of the project which has the code maintenance, like if you're working on the git, if you're maintaining on SVN, those things will also be covered, like how we need to maintain your code, how do you check in, check out on daily basis what we are doing. So on as an automation engineer, what's your day-to-day activities as an automation engineer when you start your project, where you will start like from scratch, R&D part, when your execution starts, how you take your test cases, how you maintain your test cases with Jira. All these things will be covered along with these projects. Project one, web application and desktop application, will be looking into those areas. This is the real-time projects we'll try to cover on the real-time scenarios. And the basic thing, Ranorex training setup, we need a lab setup, basic Windows 8.1, or you need to have Windows 10. And a trial version will be enough, like initially when we are working on, as it's licensed version. We can use the trial version, which is as 30 days trial version, which helps you to explore on these areas. So that is the lab setup for the Ranorex. Apart, along with this course content, when the course going on, I'll be providing you the course material. So on the daily topics, what are the topics I'm going to cover today? At the end, I'll be just giving you the small kind of PPTs or small bullet points, like what are the things we have covered and the highlight points. We'll be giving on the also the use cases, like scenarios I maybe ask you to work on. So those things will be given, and also the mind magics will also be provide you the recordings on daily basis, like what are the sessions going on. Everything will be recorded, and you can refer back them, and whenever you want all the recordings, you can look back and you can go through, and you can come back like what if you want to have stuck up in any area, or you can come back. And majorly the use cases will help you to which enable you to work on the real-time scenarios, which gives you the confidence, like working on the real-time projects. So those things will also be included in the course resources. Again, the interviews. I will be conducting you a mock interview on daily basis. What are the topics I have covered, and also the daily basis. What are the topic I'm discussing. I will be trying to cover the interview questions as well. But at the end of this course, I will be taking a mock interview and I will be giving the feedback. I will be giving the mock interview session, how that goes, and those things also get recorded, and you can review back, and I can give you the feedback as well. So mock interview will be conducted on real time scenarios as a real time experience. Those things will be covered as part of mock, which help you to give the confidence like where you are, and which help you to where you have to be. So that feedback also will help you into what you things you have to concentrate, and what are the things you have to look into again. And example, if I have a connecting in a mock entry, so I'll be asking in a real time example, like I may ask you to create a small code module. Like these examples I'm telling as part of mock interviews. So these things generally what we do as a real time interviews. So like we will conduct a mock interview for you, and that's about all the Ranorex training program it goes. On the high level, I can say like end to end on Ranorex training, Ranorex tool, each and every point. What are the each and every tool? What are the advantages we have? We'll be discussing, and real time project discussion, real time creating frameworks. Everything will be discussed on. It's like end to end on the Ranorex course. So once the course is done, all the resources, any questions, anything, if you have any questions also, we're ready to answer you. We are always help you. We are ready to in position to help you. So that's it about this training program. Thank you.